Are we live?
Are we live?
Hello and welcome.
May I? Hello and welcome to another edition of the Whatcha podcast. My name is not William Royal. I am Max Ferris, joined by my lovely co-host, great friend, and fellow fan of the TCU 12-0 Horned Frogs.
Go Frogs.
Go Frogs. I wanted to do that.
That was really great.
We took a little break, and I wanted to bring it back with some goodie, whatever that was.
An intro.
Yeah,
it was
an
a
intro.
heck of an intro.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Glad to be back. We season 3 has been rough.
Season 3 has not been rough. It's just been
It's sparse.
sparse.
Spread out.
Hills and valleys, if you will.
We have a producer back in studio today,
Back
which
in.
is great. Thank you for joining us.
I wish that she was on camera.
Holly is fresh out the shower, towel on her head, looking like a pirate.
It's great. It's so great.
We don't have enough phones to get a producer cam.
No, because we have just the 3.
But yeah, season 3. It's fall. We talked about this last time.
Yeah,
Fall is busy.
It is.
Scheduling's hard. And also they're just we needed the break.
Sure.
And it's been fine. And it's absence or abstinence? Which one makes the heart grow fonder?
Absence. I actually think it's absinthe.
It's not absent, although that might be true as well.
No, it's definitely absence.
Yes,
That's what they say. It's the whole distance makes you actually grow closer together.
I don't know if that's
I
true.
think actually Maya Angelou said that.
I don't know who that is.
Wow.
What?
Do you know who that is?
Is she not a poet?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sure. I actually can't remember exactly what she did.
I don't know if I've ever heard
She
that name
was a
before.
historical figure.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. We know I don't know history. We've talked about this.
That's right,
It's
that's
a
right.
reoccurring topic.
It's true.
It's Christmas. We're decorated in the studio here for
It's
Christmas.
Christmas time.
Christmas. It's not
It's
Christmas
Christmas
Day.
season. It's not Christmas Day.
Right. That's fair.
But I think y'all have done a fantastic job.
Thank you.
You want to know how many Christmas decorations we have in our place right now?
You know what? I know how many. Holly, would you like to guess?
I guessed 0.
Oh, that's correct.
It's 0. It is absolutely 0. And you know what? We're probably not going to put any up this year.
It's because you have a
Why?
puppy.
It's because we got the pup.
Oh.
Which we were talking, Lindsay and I, today. You need to come meet this dog.
I do.
You haven't
'Cause
met
he's
Benny
kinda-
yet, have you?
Because he's kind of big.
He's getting big.
But he's still so sweet.
He's still a puppy in heart and mind, just not necessarily in body.
You want to know what's been an absolute terror? I'll tell you.
Tell me.
So, he's been really good overall. Great puppy. He's been doing this thing recently where he wakes up a lot earlier than he used to. And we are almost certain it's because when we take him out of his crate to go potty, when he comes back in, he'll get up on the couch and then he'll just lay down. And so then what we've been doing is we'll just lay down with him for, however long we have.
On the couch?
And so, yeah, on the couch. And so I think he's starting to realize, dude, if I whine, this morning it was 4:30.
Oh, it's getting earlier.
Yeah, it's getting earlier.
4:30 is that's
Pretty
too
early. It was pretty early. I actually took him out this morning and then just let him up on the couch and went back to bed.
Lindsay did that yesterday, didn't she?
Yeah. So we're starting to
You're training him to be early riser.
Oh yeah, which is not cool. Not cool.
Well, I think what the solution is going to be is you put his crate in the guest room and you just don't even listen to the whining.
But yeah, but it's so hard because he gets so sleepy, and so if he wakes up and you just wake up and take him out, then he'll go on the couch, and if you sit down on the couch, he'll walk up next to you and just lay down and
he's just so cute.
Just so sweet.
So
it's
cute.
just the cutest thing, but it's also not good. We don't want that.
It's a bad training.
It is bad training.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at right now. Other than that, he's been very good.
That's good.
Very good boy.
That's good.
He's still undefeated every day, every Saturday when he wears his TCU bandana. He's undefeated.
Haven't lost.
The boy has never experienced a loss.
That's good.
It's crazy. But yeah, so that's been a lot of fun. But yeah, you need to come meet him because he'll just be a big dog here in probably a month or 2.
And that's not nearly as fun.
No.
Yeah, you wanna come see him before.
Get them while they're young.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Should we do a quick college football update?
Oh, Absolutely.
Because I think this is just for you and me. I don't really think any of our people really care about this.
Why?
I just don't think they do.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. But it's fine. It's good for us.
Have you guys been keeping up with your teams?
No, not really.
Lesser in
As the season
unfortunately,
continues,
both of your teams have trailed off quite a bit.
I do know the Ole Miss is not doing so hot.
So
I
let's
think they've lost all of their recent games.
like the last 3, I think.
Yeah. Once they lost the first one, they were.
So
I can't imagine Wake is doing that well.
they're 8-4.
Ole Miss or Wake?
Ole Miss.
Okay.
They're 3rd in the SEC West, which puts them out of the SEC championship. So they're done until they figure out what bowl game they're in. So let's see. They had a couple of tough weeks. Where was this? Let's see. They lost to Mississippi State by 2 points on Thursday,
Oh, bummer.
which is that like in-state rival game. The week before, they got destroyed by Arkansas, 42-27. They lost to Alabama the week before. They did beat A&M, but they also lost to LSU. So they've lost 4 of the last 5 games they've played.
Wow.
So tough end to the season.
Good stats right there.
Way to go, Rebels. You know, they had their head coach, Lane Kiffin. They, what's going on?
I just popped my knuckle. It was very loud. You hear that? Ready?
Ooh, that is quite loud. There's been quite a bit of noise amongst Ole Miss that Lane Kiffin was going to take a different job, and he finally came out yesterday and said that he's signing an extension with Ole Miss.
Oh, very nice.
But whenever that stuff goes on, it can really mess around
Mess
with
with the team.
locker room. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wake Forest is 7-5.
That's not horrible.
They are
It's not great.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6th in their conference.
Okay.
So not great.
Right in the middle of the pack.
Loser.
And
Six.
they're down at the bottom,
Oh, 6 of.
like 7 or 8.
Oh, okay. So not middle of the pack.
They lost yesterday to Duke by 3 points.
Oh, jeez.
They did beat Syracuse the week before. They lost to North Carolina. They lost to North Carolina State. They lost to Louisville. So yeah, tough.
All right.
tough
Well,
couple
move
of
on.
weeks.
Move on.
Tough
Not
break for Wake.
Yep.
Tough
Yep,
break
yep.
for Wake.
How's K-State? Actually, K-State could be doing great.
They're doing very well. Let's see the AP ranking.
Will I be watching them next Saturday?
You absolutely will be watching them
right,
next
how about
Saturday.
Oh, at the.
Getting destroyed by our frogs.
Woo woo.
K-State
Riff
is
raff.
9-3, so great year. And they beat Kansas 47-27 last night to secure a spot in the Big 12 championship game, which will be this Saturday. We'll be there.
I'll be
It's going
there.
to be a great time. They are 13th in the AP poll right now.
Oh, wow.
So we've got number 3 versus number 13 in the Big 12
OTCU did move to number 3? Very good.
So Georgia, Michigan, TCU, USC slid into that 4th spot yesterday.
How about that?
Yeah,
Go
they beat
Trojans.
Notre Dame. So
What is the Saturday
the Big 12 championship.
Big 12 championship.
that y'all are going to?
Yes.
It's at
It's
Cowboy
at
Stadium.
AT&T.
So.
Yeah.
Does it consist of more than one game?
No, it's just the one. So this is conference championship week. So only the people that made the championship games. Remember when we talked about the conferences, SEC, ACC, all them? It's just those championship games. But only the only one at AT&T is the Big 12 game.
Gotcha.
They're played throughout the country. So
Is that
so,
because, was it already decided that the Big 12 was going to be at AT&T this year? How does, okay.
Yeah, it's always there. It's one of those things where it's like I think the SEC is like always at the Falcons Stadium in Atlanta.
Oh, Big
and
12 is
then-
always at AT&T?
Yeah, and ACC I think is always at Lucas Oil in Indianapolis.
Gotcha.
I could be wrong about that, but
You don't know.
and then Pac-12's probably like at SoFi or something, if I had to guess. But I could be wrong about that too. So anyway,
We'll be there.
But yeah, it's
Be
going to be a
good
good time.
In other sports news, the World Cup is happening right now.
Sure.
Have you watched any of it?
Listen, man, I just don't care.
I can't. It happens at 1 p.m. On a weekday. I can't
Yeah,
go
and the
watch
next
anything.
game is like Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday at 1 p.m. I can't go watch that. I have work.
You know
to
what
do.
is a very fascinating thing about this whole World Cup deal?
What?
Have you heard much about like Qatar?
Oh, it's a horrible place. It's crazy that it's there. I think it's all just a bunch of I can't remember the word right now. It's just corrupt. That's what it is. FIFA's
Dude.
corrupt. Qatar is corrupt. It's just ridiculous.
You're calling Qatar corrupt?
Yeah.
That's a stance you're willing to take publicly on
Yeah.
our podcast?
Yeah, I am.
The People's Republic of the What You Think podcast has no official comment on the corruption of Qatar.
The People's Republic. But did you know that the World Cup is coming to Arlington?
I did know
in
that.
2026.
Yeah.
They cannot use the field that we play on.
I
They have
heard
to
that
raise
too.
the stage
Yeah.
15 feet to fit a FIFA
Soccer field.
soccer
yeah.
field on, which is silly because other FIFA matches have been played at AT&T and they didn't do that.
I was curious about that too. What's the deal with that?
I don't know. I didn't read enough of the article. I pulled a U and just kind of read the headline in a couple of paragraphs
This
and
is
called it a day.
ridiculous and true. But it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you, Holly, have you been watching? You care about that at all?
I would love to care,
But,
but I have no way of watching it either. Sometimes it plays at work,
okay.
but I also don't know anything about soccer.
I mean, I'm in it because it's like America is playing the world.
Yeah.
But other than that, I
The
I
only-
want to like soccer, but
Yeah.
I can't.
It's tough.
I did see they put the Ted Lasso billboards up.
Oh,
around-
did
Oh, that was cool.
they?
Did you see that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there was.
USA did?
There's like Ted
It's-
Lasso.
I think it's everywhere. I think
Really?
Maybe
it's
where there are
from-
players.
Well, I think it's for multiple. I don't think it's just the United States. I think it's for multiple. Like,
Oh, okay. Well,
But-
there's
or
like
maybe it
3
is.
players from Dallas. So
Okay.
there were like Ted Lasso billboards
Mm-hmm.
that like whoever writes for him wrote out a little thing to the players from the area.
That's pretty cool.
and
So like
they're,
somebody's from
local.
Plano, so there was a Plano one.
Yeah.
Up, so
Wow.
Maybe it is just the United States because he's
American.
yeah.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Is there a new season of Ted Lasso?
It's in the works, but they decided 2023 now, right?
Yeah, I think it was supposed to come out this fall, and then they pushed it back.
You know, that kind of makes me mad. That happens really often,
Yeah.
and I don't understand why. What were we just talking about? Is it not Stranger Things that's coming out?
It's coming out in like 5
Yeah,
years,
right.
No.
Yeah,
And maybe not that long.
it's
but
like I think it's like 3.
the new season just came out, and it's like multiple years until the next one comes out.
What?
Well,
else?
we have to
Something-
realize that Stranger Things did make a 9-part movie series. It's not a show. They were movies. It was like an hour and a half, 2 hours long for each episode.
That's just like when Sherlock was a show. They had 3 episodes a season. They were all an hour and a half,
Yeah.
and then it was like 2 years in between the seasons.
I just don't understand. I guess maybe if you're a writer and you haven't written it yet.
I mean, you have to think about just the filming schedule alone, though. It takes
But-
like 3 months to film a movie,
Yeah,
and you're filming 9 of them.
But I feel like
I'm talking really high.
it depends on what kind of like movie you're making or show. Like
But I
if
feel
you're
like they have to go
filming-
through the same kind of rigmarole of like doing
What?
rigmarole of doing more scenes than they're going to actually use. There's deleted scenes.
Sure, yeah, you got to edit and all that. But listen, man, like 3 years is really a long time.
Well, I think the editing is harder than you think.
You're telling me
I don't know.
you couldn't do that in 1 year? You couldn't
I don't
shoot
know.
for 6 weeks and then edit for the rest of the year?
I mean, let's look at Avatar. Avatar's been in the making for 15 years.
Okay, that's different. They haven't been working on it for 15 years.
I think James Cameron would beg to differ with
Well,
you.
it
I
may-
bet
it
he's
also
been
cost
writing.
$2 billion.
okay, it didn't cost $2 billion. Did it cost
Okay,
$2
they
billion?
No,
have-
no,
they
it
have
didn't
to
cost.
make
That's what they have to
$2
make.
billion
okay,
to
can somebody
break
explain
even.
it to me?
No, I don't
understand
understand.
Okay.
Because I
It
think it
just-
only costs like 250 million.
That's
to
what
make.
I saw, but I don't know how true that is.
But then everyone
I told
was
you that
saying,
yesterday.
yeah, we talked about this yesterday.
I don't know
Everyone
what-
was saying like it has to make 2 billion worldwide at the box office to like
break
break
even.
even.
But I don't understand. I don't know if there's
I don't
payouts
either.
after that go to other people because like the actors will make royalties and everything like that. After that's usually how that works. So I don't know. I don't know. There's other people you got to pay after movies.
I don't know
made.
either.
Like I don't know if it's 250 million, like what all that covers and what
I think
like
that's
box
just,
office
like,
money.
production
Okay.
cost. Typically, when they say like how much it costs to make a movie, I think they're just talking about like what it costs to film and then edit and like create.
Does that count for like all the people that are?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know.
I could be wrong, but
You could be wrong. You've been wrong before and you'll be wrong again.
oh, I'm probably wrong right now.
That's what I say usually these days.
I mean, it's super true.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what? We kind of talked about this yesterday, but I saw a clip on Hot Ones,
Okay.
that Wing show with Matt Damon, and the guy, I don't know his name, was asking Matt Damon like, "What's
Sean.
Is it Sean?
It is Sean.
Okay. He asked him something
fan.
along the lines of like, "Why don't you see movies like you saw in the 90s and early 2000s that are just kind of like, you know, like When Harry Met Sally or what was the big Matt Damon movie? where he's
Jason
a
Bourne?
janitor.
We bought a zoo.
Oh no.
Jeez. Oh, Goodwill Hunting.
Yeah.
We bought a zoo.
I love that.
I mean,
movie.
that does fit into that category. doesn't it?
Sure, I guess. But his thing, like his response was essentially similar to this Avatar deal, like because DVDs aren't a thing anymore, essentially you have to make all of your money at the box office, whereas back in the day, you essentially doubled your money because people would pay to go see it at the theater and then buy it on DVD.
Right.
And now that's just a whole revenue stream that isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
So
Well-
it's a
But
lot
what about
higher
when they-
stakes.
What about like streaming?
I don't think they
services?
make as much money on it.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's that way with music too.
Well, and they also the actors would make royalties on DVDs and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's gone because I remember that was a whole big thing with Black Widow.
Right,
They went
'cause they released
theater
it just
straight to
at
Disney,
Disney
Plus,
Plus, yeah.
and it like messed up her pay scale or
Right.
whatever. I don't know how that all works,
Yeah.
but there was some problem with that.
yeah. Anyway, Neato gang.
You want to move into our segments?
Yeah, let's do them.
Okay.
I love our segments.
You have a thinker shout out today?
I actually do.
I wonder if we have the same. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
I don't think we do.
Oh, okay.
Do you have one?
Well, no, I don't. But go for it.
I don't know if we've shouted her out before.
Okay.
But it's my mother-in-law.
Oh, Beth.
Yeah, Beth. It's Beth's birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I think she still texts me pretty regularly about the podcast.
About the pod? Okay.
And so happy birthday.
She's a
wherever.
triplet.
She is. So
Oh.
it's also my Aunt Kathy and Aunt Amy's birthday too. So happy birthday
Happy
to
birthday.
you guys as well.
Thanks
I
for
don't think
listening.
They listen.
They don't listen,
But I think Beth does. So anyway, that's my thinker shout out. Was that who you were thinking?
No. We'll do it next time.
Okay, rad.
Yeah.
I have a year for you.
Okay.
It's time for Guess That Year.
This is a segment of the podcast where William will give me 5 hints to a year, and then I will try to guess it.
Okay. I think I got one that you might be able to narrow down for sure.
I did have a suggestion from a thinker about
Let's hear it.
stick to the 1900s.
Wasn't that your mother?
It was my mom.
Stick to the 1900s.
Yeah, nobody really knows anything about anything prior to the 1900s, and so it's just kind of a toss in the wind. I also think it'd be interesting. We don't have to do this right now.
We'll
but
see
in
how.
but in the future, pick a century for the day, and you give me some kind of random facts, and I can pick out the exact year from the century.
Okay.
It's a little. I mean, yeah.
I would be willing to try. I think you'll know what century this is.
Okay. Well, let's go.
I would agree that anything south of like the 1600s is like, okay, what are we doing here? But I feel like north of 1692 or somewhere around there, 1620,
Sure.
Jamestown era, I feel like people would be able to be like, yeah, I'm tracking with that. You know?
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know colonizers were here in the 1600s.
Okay.
That's fine. Though.
Sweet.
Did it take them that long
If
to
you
declare
can't get it
independence?
in this century?
Just go for it.
Okay.
We're taking too long.
In this year, I don't want to start with that.
Okay.
I won't tell you. Okay, in this year, the Federalist Papers start appearing in New York newspapers
Oh, jeez. So, okay.
under the pseudonym Publius.
Okay.
Okay. In this year, I had one up there that I really wanted to do. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart completes his chamber piece, Eine kleine Nachtmusik.
Gosh.
In this year, the Virginia Plan by James Madison proposed to the Constitutional Convention advocated for a national government with 3 branches.
Okay.
Okay, let me give you... In this year, delegates gathered in Philadelphia to draw up the U.S. Constitution.
Gosh. Well, this is where school has failed me.
Let's see. Ooh, this is a fun one. In this year, Titania and Oberon, which were moons of Uranus, were discovered by William Herschel.
How?
Heck if I know.
Wait, how in the world? Because this is forever ago. I can't see that.
don't know.
What? With what?
I would assume
That's
a
ridiculous.
telescope. That's all you get.
That's insane. This is the year 1784.
Ooh, that's good. That's close. 1787.
Wow.
Well done. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of hints there.
He has 5 facts.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the
true.
game.
That was a good game. That last fact blew me away. That's ridiculous.
I didn't know that.
I don't understand how anybody back in those times really figured out
It's
anything.
honestly pretty impressive. You know what I believe?
What do you believe?
This may be a hot. I don't think this is a hot take.
Okay.
I think there's some factoids to back this. Because we live in an age where we have so much information, like attacking us at all times.
Right.
It's definitely true that our attention spans are declining.
100%.
So I really do think that hundreds of years ago, people were most likely able to focus and like think through things a lot more deeply than we are.
that makes
today.
sense. That actually makes a lot of sense.
I have such a hard time just paying attention to anything, really. I was thinking about
No,
that
that's
today.
very true. I do as well.
I was sitting next to Cole Von Runnen at church, who's ADHD for sure. And he got up and was walking around, and in my head I was like, "Frickin', come on, bro!" Like,
Just mid church.
yeah, I'm like, come on. And then in my mind I was like, "Yo,
I'm mentally walking
I'm
around
doing
right
that
now.
too." like I'm all over the place. And then I started thinking like, we probably only been here for like an hour. I'm like, that's not that long.
No, and you're gone.
Oh, mine's everywhere,
Yeah.
you know? And it's just, but I feel that all the time.
Yeah, I would say there's probably too many stimuli for our brains. We don't have a way to process everything. And I don't think they had that kind of thing back then to where there's just so much happening all the time.
Think about it. Imagine you live in like the 1800s and you wake up and you're on a farm or something and you don't know anything other than what you're seeing.
Yeah, I can't
brain-
even imagine that.
When I wake up every day, do you know how many things I'm thinking about that have no correlation to what I'm going to physically engage with that day?
Probably all of them.
So many. Like, so freaking many things. It's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
And like, that's just not how people were.
No.
Like, they could sit down and read and not think about like, oh, I wonder what Kansas State is going to do against TCU in the football game this weekend.
No,
They
that
didn't
wasn't
even know Kansas was a place.
No.
Like, unless they lived there. Yeah,
in the 1800s.
you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's like, just Qatar. You think anyone in the 1800s was thinking about Qatar?
No,
I mean,
they don't think about us either.
No.
Currently.
Right. Except now because of the World Cup.
Right.
But
right.
I just think we have so.
There's too much information in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
Phones are slowly going to ruin the human race.
You want to know an analogy that someone gave one time about phones and technology use and social media and all that?
You're cutting down our time of our actual topic, though.
I don't have much to say about our actual topic.
do you not?
So this is fine.
Okay.
I mean, it'll be a good conversation, but I feel like we got 20 minutes. We'll be fine.
Okay.
I'll say this and we'll jump into it.
Okay.
I heard someone talking about like social media and how addicted to technology we are, and the studies that show that it is a negative correlation. The analogy was essentially our whole society is sitting in an apartment building that we all know is burning, and we're all going, yeah, it's fine. It's whatever.
That hurts.
But it's true.
Yeah, I know.
Like we know that there is a correlation between time on screens and anxiety and depression. Like that's
But the couch in the apartment is really comfy.
for sure, and it's funny. There's funny videos on it.
Yeah.
And we think it's great because we're connecting with other people, connecting, and it's convenient.
Yeah.
I can submit an order to Amazon that will be here
Same day.
same day. It's super convenient. But
It's kinda scary.
But it's killing our attention span, and it's killing our relationships because we don't care about the people sitting in the room with us because we'd rather watch Joe Rogan or Dave Chappelle on
Jave
Chappelle. But isn't
Did
that
you say
such
this was a hot take? I don't think that's a hot take.
No, I just said it's a real thing that we all know that people don't care about.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, we're all going to leave this room in 30 minutes and get on our phones.
Oh, definitely.
But that's the thing. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
We're sitting in a burning apartment complex going, whatever. Gonna die anyway.
I know.
Anyway.
All right. Thanks for dragging that down.
Sorry.
That actually kind of is on topic, actually.
A little bit.
A little bit on topic.
So, I got a question for you.
What you got?
What you think about Don't Worry, Darling?
Let's talk about it.
Ooh.
Let's talk about it. We're a little late to the ball game.
But I think that's okay.
I think it is
Some
okay.
of these movies we've done like the day or the weekend,
Well, now we can do
weekend they
spoilers
come
and
out.
not worry about it.
which is fine.
And I also think that it was kind of good to avoid the hype.
Ooh, interesting.
Because there was a lot of hype around this movie.
There was a lot going on.
So was it hype to the movie, or was it just a lot going on
It
with
was
the director?
a little bit of both. So
Okay.
I have some first principles here.
Okay.
So Don't Worry, Darling is a thriller mystery that was directed by Olivia Wilde.
Okay.
Which was her
Director's debut.
director's debut. It was a Warner Brothers movie released in September of this year, and it starred
Florence
Florence
Pugh,
Pugh and Harry Styles
as well as Olivia Wilde,
And
Olivia Wilde
Nick Kroll.
and Nick Kroll,
and Nick
and Chris
Kroll.
Pine.
and Chris Pine
And Gemma.
Chan.
Oh, I was going to say a different last name.
Yeah, Gemma Chan.
Got the first name.
Yeah. So it was kind of a big deal for multiple reasons. There was reporting coming out about this movie. Number one, it got a lot of buzz because Harry Styles was a leading role.
Correct.
So Harry Styles has been in Dunkirk, and he had a minor role in Eternals,
Correct.
but this was his first leading role.
Right.
And it's a romance movie, so people were kind of like, oh, Harry Styles is going to be in a lead role. He's going to be in, excuse me, a romance. And
Did you know it was supposed to be Shia LaBeouf? Did you hear about
I
that?
did know that, which is very interesting, and I think he would have done a pretty good job in this role.
I don't think it would have made sense.
Why?
Harry Styles is more dapper.
He
And I
was
think-
very dapper. In
I
this
think
movie.
he had to be dapper. I don't think
You kind of think Shia LaBeouf is a little mangy.
a little bit, yeah.
But
Yeah.
you could
But he
always
really
make
would have
him-
fit, huh?
You could always make him look.
Yeah, Harry
that
Styles
way.
is a lot mangier.
Well, he gets pretty mangy.
Yeah, he sure does. He looked rough.
He looked rough.
Okay, so then some reporting starts coming out that like Olivia Wilde is dating Harry Styles, and that was whack because she's got to be upper 30s, right?
Well, she's upper 30s. She also has children with Jason Sudeikis.
I know,
And
they
recently
very recently,
had divorced.
yeah, they just recently split.
Well, wasn't word on the street that she split for Harry?
Yeah. That's
Maybe.
What,
I can't remember
I mean,
that. I think there was some talk about that.
I don't necessarily get the Olivia Wilde hype in
Okay.
general.
Okay.
She's known for your favorite movie, Tron.
Is
And
that
then-
what she's known for? You know, I was
Your
gonna ask.
favorite movie?
I was not. No. I was gonna ask you guys when you think of Olivia Wilde, what movie do you think of?
I looked up her filmography earlier, trying to think of what I know her from, and it's just Year One. That's all I know her
Okay,
from.
I was gonna say Year One. She was also in Cowboys. Is it Cowboys and Aliens?
Aliens versus Cowboys.
She
Cowboys
was in
versus Aliens.
Tron.
She was in House.
Cowboys and Aliens.
She was in House.
She was in House. That's where I first saw
I don't
Olivia
know if
Wilde.
I've never seen
seen
House.
any movie with her in it. Honestly,
Oh really?
You never saw Tron?
no.
I never saw Tron either.
Tron was fire. Tron sucked.
Wasn't-
hot garbage fire.
Wasn't she in a movie like Horrible Bosses, like a comedy kind of movie like that?
I
didn't see that in her filmography.
IMDb. Okay. She voiced somebody in BoJack Horseman.
That's fine.
Interesting.
What else did she? Oh, she had a couple of Portlandia episodes.
She seems kind of
Again, like why does she have this
Tron.
this
House.
aura of whatever?
I don't know.
What's her aura? What do you mean?
I feel like she's just like people put her on the same the same level as name a female actress.
Like, are you saying like she's highly thought of? Like,
I think
well
so.
thought of? Like, would you say like Angelina Jolie?
I don't think she's necessarily up there. That's probably a little too high.
Okay.
But like
But
right below that.
Yeah.
Like,
Scarlett Johansson?
maybe.
Well, Scarlett
thinking a little
Johansson's
bit older.
Kind of a big deal, though.
Like a I want to say Jennifer Love Hewitt, but I know that's not true. I don't even know who that is.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Ghost Whisperer.
Like a Julia Roberts. I feel like she gets put in the same.
No.
Julia Roberts is a big deal.
Like a young Julia Roberts. I feel like she gets put in that category.
I don't think so.
I also feel that, but it's not. Maybe it's just because she's married to Jason Sudeikis.
Maybe.
Or
Or
previously
was.
was.
Ugh.
She
Woof.
definitely hasn't had the success that maybe she.
But I feel like success is proclaimed about her, but there isn't really any there.
Okay, I think
make
that's a
sense?
fair take.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so essentially, there was all this buzz going on. Apparently, she was a nightmare to work with. Like, apparently, the set and the whole deal, the whole filming was like horrible.
Well, and there's all this buzz that this is like it's a film that is it's very women powerful, all this kind of stuff, and I think that got a lot more hype around it. That doesn't describe what was going on well enough, but I can't think of the words right now.
I
Like
don't.
strong female lead kind of movie.
Sort of,
Interesting. I don't. I guess
There was
some of that in there.
yeah.
Okay.
What did you think about the movie?
I
What?
thought it was
I was just laughing at the plot.
pretty good. Okay, so let me. It got a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes.
38.
38. It got a 6.2 on IMDb, so a little bit different.
38 was that regular people or the
I
critic
believe
score?
that's probably the critic score.
Okay.
It got a 3.4 on Google reviews
Out of 10?
out of 5.
Oh.
So a little bit mixed reviews. So here's my thought. Early on in this movie, as the movie started, I kind of started getting some vibes of like, oh yeah, this is like a thriller. Kind of had some like early on in like a Jordan Peele movie. Mm-hmm. And then very quickly, do you know what I thought?
Well, I got vibes of it. I can never remember the name of this movie, but the Jim Carrey movie.
Bingo. That's literally what I was about to say.
Oh, Truman Show?
Very
Truman Show.
early on, I was like, this is Truman's Show, but a little bit darker. Mm-hmm. Which, like, in a way, it kind of was. It had that same,
Yes.
that whole deal
Yes,
of like,
which I don't.
you know from the very beginning. Do you know when I first realized it? They all get out of their cars, or they all get into their cars and leave for work at the same time.
Yes,
And I was like, this is not a real world.
right.
Like, something weird is going on here. This is a fake reality. And then immediately I was like, this feels like the Truman Show.
Right.
Everything's too good.
Right.
Everything's too nice. And from that point on, I found myself going like, okay, what's going on here?
When I saw that, it felt more, initially, I think it felt more cultish. Like
Okay.
they were,
Like,
like, under the influence of...
yeah.
Of
you know,
Chris Pine, which
Yeah.
you still kind of got throughout the movie.
And
Oh,
also,
absolutely.
like, that kind of stuff I feel like was playing into, they're supposed to be in, like, the 50s or 60s. And, like,
That's just kind of how stuff was.
well, yeah,
Which
just
I
like...
found that interesting. Like, because the whole idea was he wanted to create like a utopia for them. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was like 50s. It was like around the 50s.
right.
Which I wonder if that was maybe to him a utopia was that like social hierarchy where like the man goes and works, the wife keeps the home, everything's kind of like separate, but then I don't know, maybe that was the
Well, yeah,
whole.
because in the end, when he's like, when it's showing how he actually got into it, do you think it's specific to each person?
No, I think they all live in the same.
You think it looks the same to all of them?
Yes.
It's not like...
No, I don't think it's per person. Because all the guys were in the same world.
Yeah,
but you don't... So they are just choosing, like, things about themselves. Like, he chose to be British. Or no.
What?
I think he chose to be British.
Yeah.
I don't think
He's British in the utopia, and he's American in real life.
and gross.
Yeah.
Quite gross. Yeah.
Okay.
So you just get to choose things about yourself. It's not like you choose the world that you're getting put in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Great set.
Yeah, I did find myself really enjoying the just the look.
Yeah.
The look of the movie.
The look was great. I thought the acting was great.
I was gonna ask what you thought about Harry Styles' performance.
I had no problem with it.
Really?
There was
People
one.
hated on him.
Huh?
Well, I won't say hated on him, but
People were kind of hating on him
I
a little
thought
bit.
it was good.
I thought he did a good job.
Yeah.
Do you disagree?
I thought it was average. Well, no, I'll say this. I thought for most of the movie it was very good, and there were like 2 scenes where he had to show extreme emotion, and I
I know what
thought
you're talking
both
about.
of those scenes were a little rough. There
But
was
it's his
I can
acting
see that.
debut. It's his lead debut.
I know.
Cut him some slack.
Cut him some slack, William.
Listen, we're all Harry people. Like, we love Harry Styles, but I couldn't help but notice. Yeah, there was that scene where he's talking about, like, he's like yelling at Florence Pugh, and he says something like I did this for us or something like that, and he has long pauses in between his lines.
Doesn't his accent get kind of strange there too? I think people were talking about
Yeah.
that. His accent gets kind of funky.
But
Yeah.
I think when the trailer came out or something,
People thought he wasn't supposed to be
people,
British, and
yeah,
so
and so they're
then
like,
his
oh,
British
you
came
sound
through.
British, but he is supposed to be
You
British.
sound British.
That was something early on. I was like, wait a second. Why is he British? Like, because no one else was British
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then when you find out he's American in real life, it made me go like, so why is he British? Which just makes me think that
You know, I didn't think about
his
that.
That he couldn't
American
do it for
accent.
that long.
Yeah,
that good?
They were probably like, okay, we've got like 2 scenes where we just need you to really work on this American accent, but the rest of the movie you can be British. It's
That's
okay.
That's funny.
But overall, I thought.
I enjoyed the story. Did you not enjoy the
no, I
story?
did.
Okay.
Because it kept me wondering, like, what's the deal?
Could you
wish they
tell
had
what was going on?
At some point, I started really wondering. So here's where I think the whole difference of the Truman Show, it really wasn't the same, was you kind of, I think they lead you to believe that they're in a physical place.
Yeah, I would
Like
agree.
in the Truman Show,
Right.
where he's in a constructed world, and he realizes it, and he like ends up running and getting out of it. But in this one, they lead you to believe, like, because you're not supposed to go over there, and I think I was led to believe that, like, this town, they had somehow gotten away from society and built this town, and something would happen if they left that place.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I thought the story overall was very compelling. I found myself super engaged and thinking, like, okay, other people, like the neighbor girl who freaked out, like, something's happening where, like, people realize something's wrong.
Right.
Like Olivia Wilde, you can kind of tell the whole time, like, she knows, but she doesn't want to be like, oh, like, you know, like, so I found myself engaged and wondering, like, okay, what's going on here? And I didn't, what actually ended up happening was
Couldn't
not
follow.
what I was expecting.
Right. I could tell
I liked.
something was starting to go on when she started messing with her eye. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
She was messing with her eye a lot. And so I was like, okay, there's something going on with the eye. I'm
didn't
not sure
think
what that
about
is.
Yeah.
I
A lot of the
spoiled it
dancing-
by
huh?
I spoiled it by seeing something because I hadn't seen it
Oh,
for a while,
no.
and so I saw a clip of them laying in bed when he's in the real world,
bummer.
and I was like, I didn't know what it meant, but then when I was watching, I was like, oh, there must be like some other, yeah.
I thought all the dancing scenes where, like, she started to get kind of glimpses. That was
Right.
interesting because that's what was kind of going on over them, which I didn't understand that
Yeah.
part.
Which, and a lot of people were posting videos when the neighbor girl, when they're at the dinner, or not the dinner party, when they're at the party at Chris Pine's house, like initially, and the girl like comes in and like says, this isn't real or
Yeah.
something like that, and then she's sitting down, Florence Pugh walks over and she's trying to talk to her, and the husband pulls the curtains closed. There's like a flash of her in the bed with the eye thing.
Oh, was there really?
Yeah,
I don't remember
like
seeing that.
Interesting.
People have like played it and you pause it right when they do that, and it shows like
Interesting.
the
That's
Yeah.
super. Yeah.
There were some pretty creepy segments, like when they're dancing. That was pretty creepy. I didn't like that too much.
Yeah.
What do you think about the ending? Because you sent me a recap video. I was watching the ending, and I forgot about this part. So in the end, when everything is going wrong for the
Right.
people that are in the simulation, Florence or Alice in the movie is escaping. Chris Pine's wife kills him and said, "You messed it up," and she stabs him and kills him.
Oh, yeah.
and says, "It's my turn now."
Oh,
That doesn't make any sense to me. Because it seemed
I
to
hadn't
be
thought
this
about that.
pro-man society in the simulation. Now, Olivia Wilde's character did know what was going on.
Right.
and
I
chose
guess she
to
was-
be there.
She just chose to be there and
She
live with
chose
it.
Because of her
to be there because
kids.
her kids were there.
Because the kids were only real in the simulation,
Yes.
which was kind of like a Wanda type deal.
That was another thing that I started to catch on to because they kept mentioning that the one who was pregnant was always pregnant. Do you remember
Yeah.
that line at the beginning? She goes, "She's
Right.
always pregnant.
Oh,
Yeah.
weird.
She's been pregnant for like so long or something like that." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, she keeps being pregnant. What's going
Yeah.
on there?"
I didn't like the timeline of the movie.
Interesting.
I thought they did too much in the simulation, and then the ending was too quick. Like her finding out, because
Yeah.
then
Like
there
the
were
revelation of the ending.
and there were things that they did that were like, they pointed out that it was like, I feel like you should have done more with that. Like how people die in real life when they die in a simulation. Like, is someone in the real world from this organization coming and killing these people?
No, the
like,
eye. The thing that was like holding their eyes open, I think it like whatever that contraption was kills them.
oh, interesting.
Yeah, now that you mention that, I kind of agree, because it was like, what's going on? And then you find out, because Chris Pine, when they go to that dinner party, Chris Pine just walks up to her and it's like,
And they didn't do enough with that either.
Right.
Because he was like, I wanted you to
Yeah.
be, I thought you were going to be better than
I
this or
know,
something like
yeah.
that. So it was kind of like he wanted to use her for something
I know.
more.
And they didn't really explain.
Yeah.
A part of me wondered if he was just curious. Maybe he likes the challenge.
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Because, like, everything is so normal, but he knows what's going on.
Yeah.
So he knows it's all, like, fake. So I wonder if he kind of enjoys when these things pop up and people push back.
When
But
Harry
then
Styles,
she just goes off on him. And then he's like, that was whatever.
when Harry Styles was in the real world and was kind of watching and listening to all of Frank's or Chris Pine's characters like explanation and like how he like got him into the
Right.
system or whatever, I wasn't paying attention to that, and I think I missed out on a lot. Were you paying attention to that part?
I think what happens is when they go to work during the day, they leave the simulation.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think they have to work.
They're working
in
to
real
pay
life
for-
to pay
yeah.
for the simulation.
But I
What
wasn't
was he saying to draw them into it? Wasn't it like,
all like the research and all that kind of stuff that he was talking about in his presentations. I think there was a lot of information in there that I didn't really get because I wasn't listening hard enough.
I didn't really understand the Chris Pine figure.
But he
Because-
started everything.
right, but what's
Here's a weird thing.
the deal there?
Well, that came out after the movie came out, that Olivia Wilde said that she modeled the Chris Pine character after Jordan Peterson. Have you heard that?
who is that?
Interesting. Jordan Peterson, he's like a professor of
Psychology
psychology in
in
Canada,
Canada.
and he's like pretty well known for, he wrote a couple books. I don't know what.
Well, he disagrees with that. What she said is that Jordan Peterson is like the leader of the incel community, which I think is silly. You know what incel is? It's involuntarily celibate.
Involuntarily celibate. Okay.
So it's just all these guys that have a hard time.
So they hate women, kind of thing. Or like
They end up hating. I think
they grow to hate women.
right because they can't. They feel unlovable or whatever is the idea of
I see.
incel. But she coined him as the leader of the incel community, and then that's kind of what the Chris Pine character is for. He's supposed to be this character that can. He's giving you the answer to have like control or like give your woman what she wants, because that's what the simulation does. Is that Harry Styles was never able to connect with his girlfriend or wife or whatever Florence Pugh was, because she was always working, and when she got home she was tired because she was working 12-hour shifts.
Right.
And so
She was a surgeon.
this
Created
gave
a place where
a place in the opportunity for her to not have to work so hard, and Harry to be able to provide for her, where he wasn't able to do that outside because he was disgusting.
Yeah. Part of me, like, I was like, man, did they really need to do that?
Yeah, I don't
They
know.
really, like,
Well, I think that's what.
They just wanted to make him look.
yeah. But I'm like,
But why did he have to be so gross?
well, also, I'm like, man, they were really targeting a specific kind of person there.
That's true.
Because he was clearly some kind of,
Well,
like,
the
IT
incels.
or at home, like, work from home, coding engineer, something like that.
Right.
And they were clearly like, yeah, you know who you are. It was rough. Anyway. But, okay, that's really interesting.
I thought overall the
Jordan Peterson denounces that, by the way.
Sure, obviously.
I thought the hype of the movie was more than what the movie deserved.
Okay.
Okay, so I thought that the trailer looked very interesting. The trailer got me wanting to watch it. And
Yeah.
then all the other outside stuff, Olivia Wilde doing all of her stuff, all of the talk about the scenes, I'll just say,
Yeah.
was stupid.
It was very stupid.
It was
Yeah.
stupid.
And
It made me angry.
Really-
It was also not even 5 minutes of her movie. And
It was
that's what she
inconsequential. It was inconsequential
It
to
was
the movie.
literally.
It had nothing to do with anything else.
I was kind of mad about that because, yeah, like, I thought it was fairly normal for a movie like that. And people were going crazy, like, oh, you know, this movie is really steamy and really. And I was like,
Yeah.
no.
It's not that steamy.
No.
No.
Wasn't.
But-
it was 2 scenes and it was the whole, like, maybe 3 minutes of the whole movie. And that's
know.
like what she was.
She was like
trying
honing in
to-
on, and I was
yeah.
like, well, that didn't really.
That's
It
what this
didn't
movie
further the
showcases.
didn't further the
and-
story. It didn't.
No.
It didn't like. I don't know what it was really even put in there for, except to just be not even controversial, just to be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought overall it was pretty good.
What would you give it out of 10? One watch. Everybody knows the rules.
One watch. You know, I did enjoy the story, and I kind of liked the casting. I thought it was interesting. I would say probably like a 6.3.
Oh, so
Maybe.
exactly the IMDb score, huh?
Is that what it?
I can't remember what they voted it.
Really?
Would you watch it again?
I would watch it again if someone was like, "Oh, I've not seen that," and I would be like, it's worth a watch."
I'd stream it if it came out on something I didn't have to pay for it. I
It's
wouldn't
on
rent
HBO
it.
already.
Oh, was it on HBO?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd watch it again. I'd give it a 7.2.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
I would
Yeah.
give
I had
it
a
a
good time.
6 as well.
A 6?
Yeah.
Well, flat
That's
6?
rookie score.
That's a rookie
Flat.
score.
You got to give it a second
Good.
digit.
6-1.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
I would only watch it again if someone hadn't seen it, I think.
Okay, fair enough. I know you have to go, but I did want to ask just a general take. You said you saw Glass Onions last night.
I did.
Or recently.
I did see it last night. Fresh take.
And don't give anything away, but this is a pretty highly anticipated film. This
It's-
is the sequel to Knives Out.
Okay,
It's-
is it the sequel or is it just in the same
So,
universe?
okay. Have you guys seen Murder on the Orient Express
I
or
love-
Death on the Nile?
I've seen them both, and I love them both.
It's just like that.
Ugh,
So it's
that's
like
fantastic.
it's not so much a sequel
So
as it is
Daniel Craig is
It's-
Hercule Poirot.
No.
Oh.
But it's the same. Yeah. So
obviously,
he's
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
I'm not saying he's the same guy.
But it's the same concept as like it's more so following.
Well, isn't that what kinda
him
happened-
as the detective? It's not following the characters of Knives Out.
Is Ana de Armas, is she also in this one?
No.
Oh, dang it.
No, she played.
So the cast is still pretty good. I thought it had a good cast. The story is good, and it's. I mean, I like the way that they set up like how they did Knives Out and everything, but I don't think it's as good.
Okay.
But it's still good.
Okay.
But
What
it's
was the other
funky.
movie you were excited for?
I'm very excited for The Menu.
Oh. With, He Who Shall
Anya
Be Named.
Taylor-Joy and
I know
Ralph.
I know what happens. Haven't seen it, but I know what happens.
Okay. Don't say
But I won't tell
I don't
you.
know why you did that.
Those are a couple that I really want to see.
I almost saw the menu the other day.
I told you.
I will say, just wait for it to come out on Netflix. Glass Onion.
Which one?
Glass Onion.
Oh man.
Because, well,
It's not that good.
it is good, but it's like if it's only in theaters for a week.
Oh shoot.
And it's
yeah,
only playing in weird places. Like we went to the Alamo Draft House in Lake Highlands.
Oh,
Whoa.
they had a
Like
couple
it's-
AMCs I saw.
Oh well, but yeah, I mean,
A-list.
someone there said that they're doing that so it can be put in for awards at the Oscars. That's why it's coming out in theaters. Because it is a Netflix movie. Like whenever they do the entry
but
thing,
didn't they
the
do
Netflix logo is on.
Didn't they do some Netflix movies at the Oscars? Or did they get rid of... Maybe
Those
they did
were
that for COVID years?
Apple TV and stuff like that.
Maybe they did it for COVID, and then they were like, we're not doing that anymore.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true. That's what someone said, but I don't know if that's accurate.
Can't believe everybody these days.
Yeah, can't believe
But
that
I
you're on
just-
the internet,
it's-
Holly.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
Like, and not the movie isn't weird. It's just weird. It's only out for a week and then it's gonna be
Oh,
on
also,
Netflix.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I
it's
maybe
like,
that just creates hype, draws people to the flame.
To the theater.
a last edition. So when Don't Worry Darling was coming out, or like they were doing their whole press thing and all the drama with the cast.
Oh,
Because we didn't talk about this.
Wait.
well,
What are you
keep
talking
saying what
about?
you're saying.
Oh, what?
Well, keep talking because I forgot to. There's big news. I don't know if you're gonna mention the big news.
Oh, this is what I'm mentioning.
Okay.
Yeah. So the drama with the whole cast, I always thought that Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles was a PR stunt. And then when they were doing the film festivals and they weren't talking to each other, and that was like a whole weird thing, I thought that was, whatever.
Interesting.
But they've since broken up.
They have
They
since
have.
broken up.
They have.
That's not what I was thinking. I was thinking about Harry Styles spat on Chris Pine at the.
No,
Did y'all
I don't
see
think
that?
it's real.
I don't think it's
not
real.
real.
I think it's real.
Why?
I feel like he does.
They both denied it.
I don't think.
Why
so.
would Chris Pine, if he had gotten spat on, say, "Nah, he didn't spit on me"?
PR stunt, dude?
I don't. It definitely did look
That
like he
whole-
just spat upon
Their
him.
Absolutely.
that whole film festival was weird because, and I don't know if there's actual, like, that's another thing I didn't like was I feel like they put too much drama. It felt fake. Like
Yeah.
it felt
Yeah.
like they made the drama happen with the press tour to hype up the movie. And
It
then
could have been just such a toxic film set that they really don't like each other anymore.
That's true. Because they hyped it all up so that people would go see the movie, but I don't think the movie was like as good as what the hype was.
I
for it.
do think that there was too much hype outside
Not
of the film
enough
itself.
space. Yeah.
I've been saying
drew-
that joke a lot these days. I don't know
It
why.
drew away from the actual movie. It made you focus too much on
I agree.
the-
Yeah, I
do you
feel
think
like-
you think if the outside hype hadn't been there, you would have liked the movie more?
I don't know.
It was so talked about for so long.
I'm a fan of Florence Pugh. I think
She is
she's a
really
really
good.
great actress.
Was she in anything before Black Widow?
Oh,
before
Midsummer.
I didn't.
It was a horror film.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a terrible
She was in
movie.
something else too. Can't think of it off the top of my head.
But
That's
she's
fine.
pretty recent on the
She's
scene.
whoa. she seems fresh.
yeah,
fresh
she's
face.
fairly fresh. Yeah,
Okay.
but she's pretty good. So
Well,
that's all I've got.
all right.
I have a good idea for our next episode, but
Okay.
I don't want to say it on air.
I actually liked my idea that I had today. You just immediately
I
glossed
didn't like
over it. Okay. It was gonna be what? Well, not it was gonna be, but my thought was what you think about Santa?
I mean,
No, just like. All right, never mind.
what do you think about people believing in Santa?
Just like the
What do you
belief
think?
in your experience as a child, the Santa Claus movies,
Okay.
That would be
White
really
Santa versus Black Santa, the OG story of Saint Nick. Like there's
that would
there's
be
so
short.
much there.
The OG
'Cause-
story of Saint Nick is fire.
Yeah,
You-
well, we won't do it now.
Neither of us
Maybe we
believed in
could-
Santa.
Maybe we could do it like up close to Christmas.
Well, it's too late now. I don't want to do it anymore.
That'll be-
No, I don't want to do it anymore. You both laughed at me.
Neither of us believed in Santa.
I had
as
so much
children.
content there. Whatever. Whatever. All right. Well,
I have a good idea though.
Okay, that's good.
It's gonna be good.
I'm excited for that.
All right.
Well,
get
I
outta
don't-
here.
I don't know when we'll see y'all next, but
Hopefully before the new year.
that's my goal. And yeah.
We'll get one out before Christmas for sure.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Maybe even 2. We got like 6 weeks.
No,
I
we don't.
think so.
It's December.
Okay. We'll get one more.
You have no
We'll get
idea.
one more out.
You have no idea.
lost.
Wow, it's been a rough fall.
Well,
Alrighty. Thank you
friends
for
and thinkers alike.
thank you for thinking with us.
Have a blessed day.
See you later.
Peace and
Ciao.
blessings.